Domestic violence. Domestic violence is a pattern of behavior used by one partner to maintain power and control over another partner. Domestic violence is also known as IPV or intimate partner violence. There are 4 types of behaviors associated with domestic violence. Physical violence is when a person tries to hurt their partner by hitting, kicking, or using physical force. Sexual violence is when a person tries to force their partner into taking part in a sexual act, sexual touching, or a non-physical sexual event like sexting when the partner cannot or does not consent. Stalking is a pattern of repeated, unwanted attention and contact by a partner that causes fear or concern for one's own safety or the safety of someone close to the victim. Psychological aggression is the use of verbal and nonverbal communication with the intent to harm another person mentally or emotionally and/or exert control over another person. Domestic violence can happen to anyone. People of any race, age, sexual orientation, religion, or gender can be a victim or perpetrator of domestic violence. It can happen between couples who are married and living together or couples who are just dating. People of all socioeconomic backgrounds and educational levels can be affected by domestic violence. How big is the problem? 1 in 4 women and 1 in 10 men have experienced sexual violence, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime, according to the CDC. 43 million women and 38 million men experience psychological aggression by an intimate partner in their lifetime. IPV tends to start early. During adolescence, it is called teen dating violence or TDV. TDV affects millions of teens in America each year. About 11 million women and 5 million men who reported experiencing contact sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner said that they first experienced these forms of violence before the age of 18. Multiple forms of domestic violence can occur at the same time within a relationship. Some forms include physically harming a partner, arousing fear, preventing a partner from doing what they wish, forcing them to behave in ways they do not want, using physical and sexual violence, threats and intimidation, emotional abuse, and economic deprivation. It can be hard to identify abusive partners early in the relationship because possessive and controlling behaviors don't always appear overnight. Instead, they emerge and intensify as the relationship grows. Domestic violence is different in every relationship, but the one thing most abusive relationships have in common is that the abuser uses multiple forms of abuse to maximize power and control over their partner. Here are some signs of an abusive partner. They tell you that you can never do anything right. They show extreme jealousy of your friends and any time spent away from them. They keep you or discourage you from seeing your friends and family. They insult, demean, or shame you, and they control every penny spent in the household. Abusive partners may also take your money or refuse to give you money for necessary expenses, look at you or act in ways that scare you, pressure you into having sex or performing sexual acts you're not comfortable with or consent to, pressure you into using drugs or alcohol. Some more signs of an abusive partner include preventing you from making your own decisions, telling you that you are a bad parent or threatening to harm or take away your children, preventing you from working or attending school, destroying your property or threatening to hurt or kill your pets, and intimidating you with guns, knives, or other weapons. Some forms of physical abuse include pulling your hair, punching, slapping, kicking, or biting you, forbidding you from eating or sleeping, hurting you with weapons, preventing you from calling the police or seeking medical attention, harming your children, abandoning you in unfamiliar places, driving recklessly or dangerously when you're in the car, and forcing you to use drugs or alcohol, especially if you've had a substance abuse problem in the past. Some forms of emotional abuse include calling you names, insulting you, or continually criticizing you, refusing to trust you and acting jealous or possessive, trying to isolate you from family or friends, monitoring where you go, who you call, and who you spend time with, demanding to know where you are every minute, and trapping you in your home or preventing you from leaving. Emotional abuse also includes using weapons to threaten to hurt you, punishing you by withholding affection, threatening to hurt you, your children, or your family and pets, damaging your property when they're angry, such as throwing objects, punching walls, or kicking doors, humiliating you in any way, blaming you for the abuse, accusing you of cheating and often being jealous of your outside relationships. regularly cheating on you and then blaming you for this behavior, cheating on you intentionally to hurt you and then threatening to cheat again, cheating to prove that they are more desired or worthy than you are, attempting to control your appearance, such as what you wear or how much makeup you put on, and telling you that you will never find anyone better than them or that you are lucky to be with a person like them. Some forms of sexual abuse include forcing you to dress in a sexual way, insulting you or calling you sexual names, forcing or manipulating you into having sex or performing sexual acts, holding you down during sex, demanding sex when you're tired, sick, or after hurting you with weapons or objects during sex, involving other people in sexual activities with you against your will, ignoring your feelings regarding sex, forcing you to watch pornography, or purposefully trying to pass on an STD to you. Sexual coercion varies from verbally, emotionally, and physically aggressive behavior. Some abusers use subtle ways of coercion to make their partners feel pressure, guilt, or shame. Even if your partner is not physically forcing you to do sexual acts, being made to feel obligated is coercion in itself. Dating, marrying, or being in a relationship with someone never means that you owe your partner intimacy of any kind. Some forms of sexual coercion include reacting negatively with sadness, anger, or resentment if you say no or don't immediately agree to do something, continuing to pressure you after you say no, making you feel threatened or afraid of what might happen if you say no, trying to normalize their sexual expectations by saying things like, I need it because I'm a man, making you feel like you owe them because you're in a relationship or because they've bought you a gift, giving you drugs or alcohol to loosen you up, or playing on the fact that you're in a relationship by saying things like sex is the way to prove your love for me, or if I don't get sex from you, I'll get it from somewhere else. Reproductive coercion can come in forms of pressure, guilt, and shame. For example, if your partner is making you feel guilty for not wanting children with them, this is reproductive coercion. Some other examples include refusing to use a condom or other type of birth control, breaking or removing a condom during intercourse, lying about their methods of birth control, refusing to pull out if that is the agreed upon method of birth control, forcing you to not use any birth control, removing birth control methods, or sabotaging birth control methods. Reproductive coercion can also include withholding finances needed to purchase birth control, monitoring your menstrual cycles, forcing pregnancy and not supporting your decision about when or if you want to have a child, forcing you to get an abortion or preventing you from getting one, threatening you or acting violent if you don't comply with their wishes to either end or continue a pregnancy, and continually keeping you pregnant. Financial abuse occurs when a partner extends power and control over finances. Some examples include giving an allowance and closely watching how you spend it or demanding receipts for every purchase, placing your paycheck in their bank account and denying you access to it, preventing you from viewing or having access to bank accounts, forbidding you from working or limiting the hours that you can work, maxing out credit cards in your name without permission or not paying the bills on credit cards, which can ruin your credit score, stealing money from you or your friends and family, using funds from children's saving accounts without your permission, living in your home but refusing to work or contribute to the household, making you give them your tax returns or confiscating joint tax returns, and refusing to give you money to pay for necessities or shared expenses like food, clothing, transportation, or medical care. Here are some examples of digital abuse. They tell you who you can or can't be friends with on social media, send you negative, insulting, or even threatening messages online, use websites to keep tabs on you constantly, put you down in their status updates, send you unwanted and explicit pictures and demand that you send some in return, pressure you to send explicit photos, stealing or insisting on being given your passwords, constantly texting you and making you feel like you'll be punished if you don't respond, looking through your phone frequently to check your pictures, texts, and phone calls, tagging you in unkind pictures online, or using any kind of technology to monitor you. Remember that you never deserve to be mistreated, whether it's online or offline. Here are some things to remember in any relationship. Your partner should respect your relationship boundaries. It is okay to turn off your phone. You have the right to be alone and spend time with friends and family without your partner getting angry. You do not have to text any pictures or statements that you're uncomfortable sending, especially nude or partially nude photos, known as sexting. You lose control of any electronic message once your partner receives it. They may forward it, so don't send anything you fear could be seen by others. You do not have to share your passwords with anyone. Know your privacy settings. Social media networks allow the user to control how their information is being shared and who has access to it. Be mindful when posting online. Letting an abusive partner know where you are could be dangerous. Always ask your friends if it's okay for you to check them in. You never know if they are trying to keep their location secret. You have the right to feel comfortable and safe in your relationship, even online. Here are some confidential phone numbers that are available 24/7. For teletypewriter or TTY service, call 800-787-3224. For the National Deaf Hotline, call 855-812-1001. This service also includes video calls. For general referrals and information, call 211. The Dating Violence Hotline phone number is 1-866-331-9474. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. For TTY service, call 1-800-787-3224. You can also visit breakthecycle.org or loveisrespect.org for more information. Thank you for watching.